Hi everyone, welcome back to session 3. I hope you're enjoying the webinar so far. I'm going to run through 3 topics. I'm going to touch on compliance, the role of the study partner, and stakeholder communication. So during the course of a trial, the study team usually provide regular prompts to ensure that participants adhere to the trial protocols and meet the necessary requirements. Maintaining compliance can be quite challenging for individuals with cognitive impairment, especially during the initial settling in phase of a study, where additional reminders might be needed. So as we know, compliance is really important to the integrity and effectiveness of the trial, and participants might be asked to comply with the likes of attending their scheduled visits. So there's usually a given time frame that this needs to actually take place. Participants are asked to adhere to taking their medications. Sometimes this comes with specific instructions, so they might need to take it at a certain time of the day, with or without food, etc. If they are taking a study medication, they might be asked to return both the used and unused medication packages back to their site staff. They might also need to complete the likes of a patient diary. So this would be recording, symptoms, experiences, their medication usage, and it's really essential that they're used consistently and accurately. They're also required to provide prompt information on any side effects or adverse events that they might have experienced during the trial. So this has to be communicated to the site staff. And usually they're asked to provide just generally open and regular communication with the study team as well. So some patients don't have any issues with complying, whereas others might find some of these requirements difficult to comply with. Those especially who might not have a study partner or a care partner residing with them might find some of these items a little bit more challenging. So to address this, phone or email reminders prior to their scheduled visits are extremely useful to kind of reinforce these specific instructions that they might need to follow. And then for patients that might not be complying with these requirements, it's really important to engage in a conversation about why this might be and finding out if there's any way that we can help to address this. So the role of the study partner typically plays a crucial role in a dementia clinical trial. A study partner is usually expected to have regular interaction with the participant, and they can be involved in a trial in a number of ways. So the first one I have there is consent. And in the case where a participant might lack capacity to provide informed consent themselves, a study partner may act as a legally authorised representative and provide consent on the participant's behalf, really ensuring that the patient's rights and best interests are protected. And this is something that's considered by the HRC-DC, which we talked about a little bit earlier today. They can also be involved in just attending the clinic visits with the participant. They might also be involved in the actual assessments on the day of the visit, so sharing information about both themselves and the participant. They can also support the participant for protocol procedures that they're asked to comply with, so just what we discussed with compliance, the likes of taking study medication, returning the medication, communicating any adverse events, etc. to the team. And then lastly, of course, a huge part of the study partner's role is to provide that moral support, encouragement, motivation as they progress through the trial. Communication then is another crucial aspect in both the planning and execution of a clinical trial, and there are many stakeholders involved, as we know. So I'll just give you a few examples of some of the key stakeholders and their responsibilities. So the sponsor, as we know, is involved from setup all the way to closeout. Site staff will usually have regular contact with the sponsor, and they usually provide just general oversight during the trial and ensure that staff adhere to the protocol and provide guidance where needed, really. They also perform regular monitoring site visits. This is just maybe to ensure that source documentation is checked against the data entered into the case report form, the electronic case report form, as well as just generally checking adherence to the protocol. So site staff just need to be aware of this. They might need to accommodate for these visits. Sponsors then also handle safety data and any reporting to the regulatory agencies, and they also must promptly communicate any safety concerns or kind of significant findings to the PI as well. They also communicate trial timelines and milestones to the PI to ensure for proper planning from the site's perspective. And then, of course, if there are any kind of protocol amendments, they can work with the team to make sure that they're implemented correctly. So another key stakeholder, your participants and your study partners. The site will provide study partners and participants with clear and comprehensive information about the trial, and they'll answer any questions that they might have. Obviously, you'll be scheduling their clinical visits, providing particular instructions that they need to adhere to. Participants need to be able to reach out to the site staff to report any adverse events or safety concerns throughout the trial. And participants should as well receive, general updates on the trial, such as the trial's progress or if there's any changes to the protocol, etc. And then the last example here I have is the PI. So kind of a two-way street here between the PI, the sponsor, and PI must inform the sponsor of trial status at their site, such as enrollment status or any issues that are encountered. They must be transparent about their recruitment plan and any challenges regarding recruitment as well. So if they are struggling with recruitment, maybe the sponsor can assist here. So it's very important to have open communication about this. And the PIs need to report adverse events, or especially serious adverse events, appropriately and within a timely manner that's usually outlined in the protocol as well. So the PI also has ultimate responsibility to ensure that the protocol is being adhered to, and they'll usually delegate site staff to complete relevant tasks. So another little note I have down the bottom here, it's really important for your clinical trial to kind of highlight the need for a dedicated study coordinator to act as really a central point of contact between all of these different stakeholders involved in the trial. It really just streamlines the process having that one key contact. So I'm going to pass you over to Evelyn now, who will finish off today's session, and again I'll be here at the end to take any questions. Thank you so much.